So today we are going to look at what we call corporate advertising. We're going to look at corporate advertising. And I'll start by looking at the overview of this topic. And they are saying that most of research and writing on corporate advertising usually come from North America, where the importance of advocacy and corporate personality advertising is highlighted through industry, case studies, and academic research. Now, forget about that. Now, when we talk about corporate advertising is simply, or when you talk about a corporate is an organization, a big organization. For that purpose. It's a big organization, or it is simply an organization. Now, there are some things known as corporate image and corporate identity. There is something known as corporate image and corporate identity. A corporate image, it is fluid in nature. Corporate image are fluid in nature. What do we mean by saying corporate images are fluid in nature? It is fluid in nature in such a way that it changes. It changes. The image of a person or the image of an organization changes as we proceed. Like, for example, the image of Safaricom, let's talk about Airtel. The image of Airtel was a very good image when we started. When phones started coming to Kenya or to Africa, and people started buying phones and airtimes and what we call SIM cards and so on and so forth. Airtel, known as Kensel, it has a very good corporate image, very good corporate image, and it was good. People liked, in fact, people liked Kensel more than more than Safaricom. But because of the way now they took advantage of the situation that people have got, people need these particular gadgets, people need airtime, people need lines. So they took advantage and they were overcharging customers during that time. So you realize that Safaricom also put itself into the shoe of the customers, and they decided now to subsidize their prices and so on and so forth. And while Kensel was taking advantage of the customers, because there is nothing you can do, it's like you are enjoying some kind of a monopoly. Customer hata aende wapi, atarudi tu kwa sababu hii line inatoka 1500 Customer hata apende asipende, lazima ata make call na charges zitakuwa hizi. So you know very well that this customer is vulnerable, and you are the only one who can dictate the customer, something like that. So the corporate identity, the corporate image of Kensel changed. It changed completely. It changed from, number one, the name of Kensel changed to something else. Is it Kensel? It was Kensel, and then it continued to change until up to where we are in. Even the colors, the corporate colors started changing, from pinkish to right now we have red color, something like that. Now that is corporate image. Corporate image changes with time. Even when you talk about financial stability. Financial stability changes with time, and that one depicts the corporate image of an organization. Well, when you talk about corporate identity does not change. When you talk about corporate identity, it is not fluid in nature. Like, for example, how do you identify somebody? You identify them with the face, the way you, with maybe an identity card or something like that. So a corporate identity does not change. It is the one that when people see, they know what you're talking about. So corporate identity is registered in people's minds. Like, for example, when you see a green color, you know that is Safaricom. You can, even if you are looking for an M-Pesa agent, you look for green for green shops, something like that. So that is it. So when you talk about corporate advertising, it's all about corporate image, and corporate identity, corporate image, corporate identity, and everything about the organization. So when you talk about corporate advertising, it includes number one, improving consumer relations. So it includes improving customers' relations. Like we have given an example of Kensel. Did it improve consumer relations? No, it did not improve consumer relations. In fact, it destroyed the consumer relation, the customers' organization relation. Presenting, it also includes presenting stands of public issues. If there is an issue about public, you present your stand as an organization. And also improving trade relations, how you conduct business, and also improving community and employees relations. So so there is what we call definition of corporate advertising, and we are saying that corporate advertising, it is when the company spends substantial sum of corporate communication. You are spending a lot of time communicating to the public. It is when companies spend substantial sum of corporate communication with complex or specialized publics. That is extending far beyond investors, extending far beyond what we call the government, the media, and other public opinion formats. It is going beyond the publics of public relations. And it has less to do with pushing a company's good or its shares. It is all about telling us what the company is all about. It is all about telling us what the company is all about. Telling us about the goods of the company, the services that the company offers, the kind of the corporate social responsibilities that the organization or the company involves itself into. It's all about telling us about the mission of the company, telling us about the vision of the company, the core values of an organization, and so on and so forth. So public, when you talk about corporate advertising, that is all about corporate advertising. So corporate advertising is almost universally known as the positioning of the company to build public awareness. That is the key word. So it is known as positioning of the company to build public awareness. What is awareness? Awareness is simply to make someone know you. How do you make someone know you? Or even to defend the company or organization activity. So organizations include government trade unions, they include civil servants, they also include trade associations and political parties. That is what organizations include. It includes trade unions. Like in Kenya, we have the largest trade union, which is known as KOTU. It includes civil servants. Civil servants are people working for the government. It also includes trade associations. How do you relate with other companies? And also political parties. Political parties, we are talking about the UD, is it UDA or UDF? Those ones. They all use what we call corporate advertising to address issues of public concern and also to establish their own image in the public's mind. You see, we are talking about the public's mind. So when you talk about corporate identity is usually in the public's mind. It is usually in the public minds. Like for example, when you hear of a company, say Absa Bank, what comes into your mind? So that is how you identify it. So that is what is called public. That is what we call public. Is it corporate image? Corporate image is what is in your mind. Corporate identity is anything that you can identify your company with. For example, when you look at KQ, the aircraft, when you look at them, you can, hata zikiwa zimefly, even if they are flying up, high and above, you can say that one is KQ plane. That is Kenya Airways plane. That is Fly 540. That one is Qatar Airways. You can identify them. You can see them by their colors, maybe by their services, something like that. That is corporate identity. Corporate, the other one is what we call corporate image. It's fluid in nature and it is at the back of the public's mind. That when you hear of ABSA, maybe you went there and you are mistreated. Somebody did not want to listen to you. So you have a very negative attitude towards it. That is corporate image. Maybe you went to this other company called Equity and you are treated and even you are given a cup of tea and you are given a seat to sit down as you are waiting to be served. So you liked the bank. That is called, and you have a very positive attitude towards the bank. That is corporate image. It is at the back of your mind. Another person will not have the same experience as you had. So they might be having negative attitude towards that particular bank. And those ones are called corporate images. So all institutions and organizations use corporate or PR advertising. So corporate advertising is used to influence public's opinion. Corporate advertising is usually used to influence public opinion. Like for example, you have never bought maybe for example, a home theater from Vaughan. Vaughan is another company that used to manufacture cooking, let me just call them cooking tutazita namna gani? Cooking utensils. Like for example, sufurias, unapata zimeandikwa Vaughan, unapata microwaves zimeandikwa Vaughan, zingine, these ones we call them Meko, they are written Vaughan, and so on and so forth. But nowadays they are manufacturing what we call home theaters. Maybe you have never used it. And from the way you are looking at it, you don't think that you can buy a microwave written Vaughan. Or say for example, Ramtons waanze kutengeneza home theaters. How do you think about it? So these Ramtons, they have to influence public opinion to like their products. That influencing of public opinion is what we call corporate advertising. You want to influence public's opinion by coming up with telling them or convincing them that our products are even much better. They're in the category of Samsung, they're in the category of Philips, and so on and so forth. So influencing public opinion is one of the key issue or one of the key factor that surrounds what we call corporate advertising. So it can also be used, corporate advertising can also be used. Corporate advertising can also be used to define an organization's reputation or build awareness of the organization where public awareness is low. Maybe we don't know what the company is all about. We have never heard of that particular company. We don't know the kind of products that it offers. So we can use corporate advertising to do what? To build an awareness of an organization where the public awareness is low. Like for example, effective corporate campaigns. Look at what I'm sharing on the screen. We are saying that sometimes when you do what we call corporate advertising, you are doing corporate advertising where customers don't know who you are. Totally speaking, you realize that when you ask a customer, have you ever heard of a company called XYZ? Then they tell you, hiyo ni kampuni gani? Inafanyanga nini? So they don't know who you are. Corporate advertising is also used where the company where the customer don't know your company. Unamuuliza hiyo kampuni inakuanga mahali fulani, ukienda Thika Road upande huu wa left something, then they tell you no, I don't know that company. And then another thing is that when the customer don't know your company's product, you are being told of a company called maybe XYZ, and then you are asked, do you know the kind of products that they produce? You say, no, I don't know. It is also used, corporate advertising, when you don't know what your company stands for. You don't know exactly what the company stands for. You don't know your customers, or the customers don't know you. And then the next thing is, you don't know the company's record. Companies' records are very important. Let's say, for example, it's a bank that has just been introduced hapo kwenu. It's very new in Kenya. You just don't go there blindly as a customer simply because they are giving you 10% discount in depositing or in the money that you deposit. No, you have to know the record of the company. It can be a Shylock bank, the bank ambayo ina account pesa. So you need to know the company's record. So corporate advertising is usually done to introduce or to show the company's record, how it has been performing, how long it has been there, so that the customers can also have what we call, can confide with it or can confide in it. Kwa mfano ukiambiwa hii kampuni yetu ilianza mwaka jana, ilianza jana na tunatafuta watu wa kutufanyia kazi. Hiyo kampuni, let me tell you one thing. You don't, there are so many things that you're not going to like about the company. Even when you get an interview from a company and they tell you that this is our second year, and you want them to employ you, what does that tell you? Wale ambao wanafanya hiyo kwa hiyo kampuni ni kumaanisha ya kwamba they are either 2 years old or less than 2 years old. So a good company is the one that has established itself. It has got, let's say, for example, more than 10 years of serving the customers. It has got experienced people. So whenever you see a company that has just come into the market, it tells you that even those people who are working there are not experienced. Something like that. So again, corporate advertising, it is very important because it helps you to know the company's reputation. It will help you to know the company's reputation. And from there also, you can know what is it you wanted, maybe to sell to me or to sell to customers, something like this. So this powerful long-standing advert, okay, now these are not an advert, but these are the questions that corporate advertising is supposed to answer. Those are the questions that it's supposed to answer. So today, because we are covering two topics, I only wanted to us to look at the purpose, actually the definition of corporate advertising and what it entails to do. Then from there, you are going to read the rest for yourself, like the future of corporate advertising and also the criticism of corporate advertising. It has been criticized severally. It has been criticized severally, and then the summary of that. So unless there is a question, I want to move to the next topic and then we call it a day. I'm trying to rush simply because I also need to give you time to go and do the activities. And also those people who have not done the assignments can also go and do the assignments. and those who did their assignments and submitted blank documents. I've given you another chance to go and submit another blank document so that your zero will be justified. So that saa zile ninakupea sufuri litakuwa tu hata nimekupea chance mbili. I've already given you chance but you have exploited them. Any question? Now I'm going to summarize this topic, interaction between PR and marketing. And I'm going to look at it from the definition perspective. When we started this particular course, we defined PR according to three scholars. We defined PR according to three scholars, those who are here. I remember very well, we defined PR according to this guy called Frank Jeffkins and Daniel Yardin. We also defined PR according to British Institute of Public Relations, and we also defined PR according to the Mexican statement. According to the Mexican statement, whereby the Mexican statement states that public relations, a minute please. So we defined PR, sorry for that, it's my HOD who's calling me. We defined PR according to those three people. So that is it. So we are saying, sorry for that, sorry for that completely. I'm very sorry for that. You cannot assume your head of department's call. So we are saying that we defined PR according to three people or to three scholars. Number one, we defined PR according to this guy called Frank Jeffkins and Daniel Yardin. We also defined PR according to Mexican statement, and also we defined PR according to British Institute of Public Relations. And according to not according to the Mexican, is it the Mexican? Yeah, the Mexican statement, They say that public relations is an art and science of analyzing trends, predicting their consequences, counseling organizational leadership, and coming up with a planned program of action that will benefit both the public and the organization. According to this one, we call it British Institute of Public Relations, they defined PR as a plan, no, it's not a plan, but they say it is a process of creating mutual understanding, goodwill, and good relationship between the organization and its public, something like that. Now, we also, when we are looking at public relations distinguished, that is the first topic. But when you go to Frank Jeffkins, it's the second topic in his book, Public Relations Distinguished. We say that public relations can be distinguished from propaganda. It can be distinguished from marketing. It can be distinguished from sales promotion and so on and so forth. But now let's look at marketing. Marketing, according to it's called Institute of Marketing, something like that. They say that marketing is a process of identifying. It's a process of identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customers' requirement profitably. It is a process of identifying, satisfying, identifying, identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customers' requirements profitably. So you can see the difference between marketing and public relations from their definition. But now, here comes what we call a very heated argument on whether marketing and public relations, which one is bigger or which one is better, which one can do without the other. So according to Frank Jeffkins, he argues and says that public relations is like the air that we breathe in, that you cannot do without public relations. So you cannot decide, today I'm not going to breathe. So the same case you can say, I'm not going to, the same thing you can say, PR, we cannot omit it. But marketers are saying that marketing is a very big match activity, is a bigger activity as compared to public relations. While PR practitioners like Frank Jeffkins are saying that PR is a much bigger activity as compared to marketing. So therefore, there is this guy by the name Frank J. Kitchen. If you go to the library, there is a guy by the name Frank J. Kitchen. You will see, you can go to marketing public relations, MPR. Kuna topic tu anaongea kuhusu MPR. And in this particular book, this guy called Philip, no, his name is Philip J. Kitchen. Philip J. Kitchen says that marketing is a much bigger activity. It's a much bigger activity. As those people who are doing marketing, there is what we call we call them what? I'm trying to remember. There is something that we call promotional mix. We have marketing mix and promotional mix. So marketing mix includes product. Marketing mix include product. The 4 P's of marketing: product, promotion, placement, and also pricing. Product, promotion, placement, and pricing. So those are the 4 P's of marketing. Now, those 4 P's of marketing, apart from product, we go to promotion. Promotion is what we call, there is what we call promotional mix elements. Under promotional mix elements, we have things like promotional mix elements. We have things like what we call it, advertising. We have sales promotion. No, yeah, we have personal selling. We have direct marketing or direct advertising, and then we have yeah, those things, personal selling. Zote ziko wapi? Under promotion, from which when you talk about under promotion, we have promotional mix elements. Then marketers argues that under promotional elements, then we put we put PR there. So they have categorized PR as one of the promotional elements of marketing. Therefore, they come up with something known as marketing public relations. So according to marketers, marketing is a much bigger activity as opposed to PR. And that's why they have classified PR under promotional mix elements. So in totality is marketing mix. So PR is part of the marketing mix, specifically under promotion. I hope we have understood. Ama tunashika namna gani? So that is it. The reason as to why I'm taking you through is because public relations and marketing are totally different. They are totally different. They are totally different disciplines. So according to my notes, you can see that the relationship between PR and marketing has always been somewhat ambiguous and controversial one. So that's why I was taking you through Philip J. Kitchen, what Philip J. Kitchen talks about, says about marketing and talks about PR. I've also taken you through what we call Frank Jeffkins, and Frank Jeffkins says that PR is a much bigger activities as opposed to marketing. We also have another scholar by the name Catlip. Catlip says the same thing Jeffkins says. So for marketers, the primary concern is that it is maintaining and improving sales and shares. So according to Institute of Marketing, I don't know how it is called. Yeah, British Institute of Marketing. No, Chartered Institute of Marketing. The Chartered Institute of Marketing says that marketing is the process of anticipating, no, identifying. First of all, you identify, then you anticipate, and then you satisfy customers' requirement, of course, profitably. But when you look at PR, there is nothing to do with what we call promoting. There is nothing like anticipating. There is nothing to do with profit. PR is the art and science, or it is the art, it's the art and science of creating mutual understanding between the publics and what we call the organization. I'm just putting it in a very simple way. So from there, you can see there is the difference. Marketing is trying to show that at the end of the day, you have to do what? To pay something. But PR, at the end of the day, you don't have to pay anything. When you look at it this way, you're going to realize that PR is actually a bigger activity because it promotes even marketing. It promotes marketing functions of an organization. So you're going to read on models of relationship between PR and marketing. Hiyo ni wewe utasoma. As you can see here, PR usually supports marketing activities. This one, you can see PR supports marketing activities. We can go through it. We can go through what has been written. PR operate primarily as publicity function, helping to extend the reach of the marketing budget, complementing the use of advertising and other marketing communication techniques. The increasing cost of media space and airtime, the increased fragmentation of media audiences, and the intensification of competition for the attention of audiences have all contributed to an increasing realization that advertising alone can no longer be relied upon to deliver the results that PR does. So PR is a much bigger activity. So PR is most effective. This is where PR is most effective. With voluntary breakthrough type, that is, those that can make news, and where the company is small and there is little money available for advertising. So you can actually see PR can exist where the company, or it usually used where the company is small and there is little money available for advertising. Point number 3, where television advertising is unavailable through regulatory reasoning. And then point number 4, where the environment is hostile towards the product or company that has turned around. People don't want that particular product. Where the environment is hostile, you can use public relations. Watu hawataki hiyo product hata kidogo. Tunaweza kutumia PR. PR is all about, let's say for example, it's a product that people don't like. It's all about talking to these people, telling them exactly what the product does, explaining to them, maintaining relationship, ensuring that they understand. If there is a question, they ask, and you make them aware of what the product is all about. But advertising does not do that. You have watched adverts on TV. They only sell less than 1 minute advert imetoka, ingine imeingia. Their main aim is to just sell products, advertising, or to just sell products. They don't tell you the benefits, they don't tell you the weaknesses of the product, they only sell the product. And sometimes you are going to realize that most of the products that are advertised are those that are not of good quality, ama ni zile ambazo tu zimeingia kwa market, that when you use them they are not of quality. Those products that are of quality, they don't do advertising. They don't. Like for example, talk about let's think about milk, maziwa kama ya KCC. Have you ever seen it being advertised? They don't advertise them, but you will see a milk, a certain company that is manufacturing some kinds of milk product or cow product or something like that, unapata ndio wanaji-advertise. So I don't have much to say. Me, I will stop there. The rest is for you to read. Any question?